Good afternoon, everybody. It's your pal Mark the Mellow here. Hope you're going well. Having a lovely walk from Golders Green to Hampstead today. Seeing a few of my buddies before I head off north. Yes. So the other day I got offered a job in northwest England for a period of 3 months, from August until November. So I decided to take it because I'd been unemployed for coming up 3 months, and it had been like my longest time unemployed in, let's just say, many years. Because when you think about it, I quit my job in Birmingham. That was April 2017. Then I didn't get another job until June 2017. And then let's not forget, like, I quit that job. That was August 22, and then I didn't get another job until November 22 because I was in Southern Africa for September. So it was kind of like my longest time of being unemployed in like many years, but especially just in my British lifetime. Because I'll never forget being a young boy, being 20 years old, unemployed, lost my job at W, and I didn't do another job until 2007. So that was many years ago. But the horrible thing was, I'd been applying for all sorts of jobs in hospitality all throughout London, even as far as Barnes, even maybe like just over the border in Essex. And I mean, I had been plenty of interviews, but never ever had any job offers. And it kind of like irritated the shit out of me. So I thought to myself, I've got 18 years I'm I've been in this industry long enough. I've held down a job for 5 years. I've done nearly everything front and the back of the house. I can cook food. I'm not that qualified to be a chef, but I can cook a meal. I can, wait on tables, I can serve customers, I can serve food. Because that's what I've been doing for like the last few years. I mean, it's like serving customers, front of house, making coffee. And so a lot of the time when people didn't hire me, for many of them I basically said, well, fuck you, go fuck yourself, you prick. But then I would also insult them and say, for other people, oh, thanks for your taxes. I'm going to be spending your taxes on rent and my ladies. If you want me to stop living off the taxpayer, give me a job. But I actually spat on a few people, well, not really physically, but a few cunts asked me in a job interview why I moved here from Australia, and I've been in this country for over 10 years. I proudly told them, you don't ask questions like that about immigration in job interviews. The only job question you ask about immigration status is, do you have a right to work in the United Kingdom? Because if you don't have the right of work in the United Kingdom, you can't work, and the business would get fined, 10 grand for employing an illegal immigrant. So that's why you always have to have your papers in order, no matter where you came from. And it doesn't matter if you were, let's just say, you were born abroad, but you were given a British passport as a child. Who fucking cares, okay? Seriously, it's like, I was saying to my Jewish friends earlier today, imagine if, let's just say, you're born in Israel, but you have British parents. You decide to leave Israel and come to the United Kingdom. If people in job interviews ask you, oh, well, why did you move here from Israel? You could be like, dude, are you retarded? Just look at the media. You think it's safe for me to like live in Israel? But then again, there's lots of British Jews coming to Israel because it's much safer to be Jewish in Israel than it is to be Jewish in the United Kingdom. So I've had to, leave London for 3 months, go up north, work on site, work in a kitchen, do a job for 3 months. But then at the end of it, when November comes, I'm going to be unemployed again. I'm still going to be on welfare. But then I've got some experience of, working in kitchens, working in fast food, working like counter service, all that sort of stuff. So the question is, it's like, after 3 months is done in November, do I decide to go back to London where I actually have to keep on paying rent for my place when I'm not there? Or do I keep venturing north? Do I say, well, I've been in Cumbria for about 3 months. Why don't I keep on heading north? No, let's go ahead. Let's go into Scotland. Let's do something, You only live once, that's the saying. So when you die, all right, you're remembered about not where you went in the world, just like that, but you also remembered about where you lived. If you when you die at a certain age, like 75, and you're somebody who, let's just say, was born in Australia, but then you made Aliyah to Israel, and then you went to the United States, you lived in various countries, you're remembered for like what you did, because for like the last 40 years of my life, well, that's all my lifespan, I've always been a city slicker. When you think about it, being born on the North Shore and then living in the Hills District for 30 years, and then Birmingham, and then, a day stint in Cornwall didn't really stretch the surface, but 9 years in London. And then I thought, like, after 9 years, I thought, well, I was quite inspired after studying a lot about Beatrix Potter, how I grew up with her books, and I was just in the Lake District to see where Beatrix Potter had lived and had, done her work. There are just so many people who, go from, like, London to the Lake District, then let's just say Lake District to London. So I'm really looking forward to leaving London this week. And it's also been like my longest time away from London since I went to Sweden about 8 years ago for that 1 month stint. But who knows? If you're going to go pear-shaped, I could end up back in London on the dole. You never know. But I know that I'm going to stick it out for 3 months. I know I'm going to do it, no matter what they throw at me. Because when you think about it, Henry Rollins once said, if you've worked for 8 years in a Burger King, you might be a dumb MF, but you're one tough SOB. Anyway, my name is Melhead, over and out.